Today in the news, Navi gets delayed, we get our first retail boxes of the 1660 Ti, and Xiaomi wants to edge out the competition. What's up guys, I'm Snows, and this is your boot sequence. Let's get started with AMD. With Radeon 7 out right now, we finally have a high-end gaming GPU from AMD. Now, I'm not saying that it's a great price to performance card, but at least we have one. Now, what you guys are probably waiting for now is the Mid-Range Navi GPU, which we thought was supposed to be announced early 2019 with a release date in the middle of the year. Well, it looks like we might have to wait a little longer because Cowcotland reports that AMD has delayed the plans and will now launch Navi in Q4 of this year. With all the information we have now, Navi should still be worth it, even if it gets released at the end of the year. Let's look back at the supposed performance equivalents and prices of Navi. We have the RX 3080, which matches 1080 performance at $249, the RX 3070, which matches the 1070 performance at $199, and the RX 3060, which matches the 1060 at $129. So yeah, with those performance equivalents, it would still be worth it considering the 1660 Ti is supposed to release at around $280 with performance between a 1070 and 1060. Personally, I don't mind waiting for the end of the year for such a great deal, but with AMD's track record in the GPU market, I'd say that there's a 50% chance that AMD just won't deliver on the performance numbers. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Speaking of the 1660 Ti, we now have our first look at some of the retail boxes. Posted today on Reddit, the Galaxy GTX 1660 makes its first appearance, and well, it's a box. I tried to zoom in and looked around the back to see if we could get a little more info from the card, but it looks like it's pretty plain. We have ray tracing being replaced by Turing shaders on the front, but we already knew that this card wouldn't ray trace. It also doesn't look like this card will have a virtual link port though, so this card might not be the best fit for next-gen VR headsets. It will have DVI-D, HDMI, and DisplayPort though, so there's that. There's also a single fan version of the card coming with an EVGA Black XC and also a palette variant. As for the release date, it looks like the 1660 Ti is going to be out on the 22nd of February. Little bit of a side note here, did GPU makers just stop advertising VR on the boxes? It used to be that any GPUs over a GTX 1060 had VR ready plastered on the box, but it seems like this new generation just stopped doing that. Anyways, we have a pretty good idea of what the specs of this GPU will be, but I guess we'll have to wait a little longer to see if it will feature any extra features like DLSS. Next up, it looks like Xiaomi is going pretty hard in the patent game with two new patents for their phones. The first patent brings symmetry to the punch-out display by adding a second hole to the front of your phone. Why would you want that? I really don't know, but it would not be surprising to see that on a Xiaomi phone. I mean, I guess this would allow the phone to house a secondary camera or extra sensors, but at that point, we're going back to a busy display with two dark sections on the top area. The second patent would allow for a wraparound display similar to the edge feature of the Galaxy phones, but on all four sides. The patent seems to show the display wrap around 50% of the thickness of the phone, moving things like the charging port off center. It would probably be too thin at that point for a headphone jack, and the buttons on the side would also not be that comfortable. It'll probably make use of a piezoelectric earpiece similar to the Mi Mix smartphone. And lastly, in gaming, it looks like Spyro Reignited, the trilogy of our beloved dragon, will arrive on the Nintendo Switch in August. The game was listed on GameStop with a release date of August 16th, but was swiftly removed a few hours later. Personally, I would rather play that game on the Switch, but my main problem is the price, and this goes for more than just Spyro. I hate the fact that all those remastered games on Switch cost the same as their launch price on older consoles. That's the reason why I would like but refuse to buy most of the Wii U to Switch ports, even if I don't own the originals. Anyways guys, that is pretty much it for the news. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Don't forget to drop a comment down below telling me what you thought of today's subject. As usual, you can click right here to see the latest video, right here to subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow. No, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care, and yeah, stay frosty.